Okay, we ready for the video. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Channel message, impromptu channel message. Y'all know how we do. We finna just get right into it before I lose this energy, okay? This is a channel message from the Akashic records, all right? Stop giving them consent. Take that how it resonates. The reason that they're having me sit down and make this video right now, and the beings from the Akashic records are having me to sit down and make this video right now, is because the conspiracy theories have gotten out of hand. All of this distraction that's going on right now with the island and the files and all of this stuff, they said enough, okay? And honestly, just conspiracy theories in general, enough. It's time to let things go. It's time to let that shit go, for real. They're bringing up how Saturn has just now moved into Aries, and we're gonna have this transit working for us. This energy is gonna be working for us for over the next 2.5, almost 3 years. Okay, so they want to say to us, use this energy wisely. Neptune is no longer in Pisces anymore. There's a lot of illusions and things that are going to be pulled back into and are going to be revealed. Illusions are going to be dissipating. Thank you, Spirit. Illusions are going to be dissipating. And not only the illusions of the world, but the illusions of your own life. I've said it in my TikTok video before, but this Saturn in Aries is a lot of this is going to be about accountability. Accountability, accountability, accountability. It's time to stop taking our precious power and putting it in the hands of the people who do not want to create a world that is fair for everyone to live in. And you're giving them consent by going down these quote unquote rabbit holes, putting your energy into doing all of this research. You're watching all of this, consuming all of these TikToks and posts and videos, and putting all of your energy and letting it be, you're giving your energy away to be siphoned. And a lot of people feel that the injustices of the world are unfair, and they're sitting around crying to their spirit team, crying out to God, asking, when is this going to end? When is this going to be over with? Why won't you do anything? And they're telling you it's not going to end because you people keep giving them consent. You watch the news and you are consumed by everything that is going on in the world. You think these conspiracy theories, you think you're unlocking and hacking and deprogramming the matrix, and you think you're figuring these people out by going down a rabbit hole, and you are doing research on these conspiracies, and you think you're like unpacking some huge government conspiracy when all of that was planned. And I'm not talking about the actual things that we're doing research on, but I'm talking about the conspiracies themselves. Those were created as consciousness traps to get you caught up and be distracted from what's actually important, which is yourself, which is your spiritual mission, your spiritual assignment, and what you're here to do. Okay? So no, we're not just going to step in and save the world from evil when you're quite literally forming contracts with them and giving these people consent. And you don't even see it. They've had quite enough of it. They've had enough of it. They are just extremely fed up. And when I say they, the beings of the Akashic records and higher consciousness, like ancestral energy, and our spirit guides. Because spirit guides are also a part of your spiritual core and your spiritual team, and they're here to help us be on your spiritual assignment. Like, think big picture, your big picture day-to-day spiritual assignment stuff. You sitting and doing your meditations, getting in tune with your own spiritual gifts and your intuition. Just I can go on and on and on and on. That's, but that's not the point of this video. If they call me to make that video, then I'll make that video. But right now they just have me channeling from the Akashic records. You're giving them your consent, and it's time for you to stop. It's time to stop. Okay, it's time to stop. Oh my God. They're saying, put the tinfoil hat down. Put it down. Put it down. They're saying it's very ironic because you all think you're cracking the code. You think you're pulling back the curtain on some grand conspiracy, and you think you're so woke, but you have gotten to the point where, like, you're so woke that you're putting yourself to sleep. You've gotten to the point where you think you're so woke that you've actually put yourself back to sleep. And that was the plan all along. That is the grand conspiracy that nobody recognizes, okay? They said it's so many people who get so close to the point, but then it still goes over their head and they miss the point of it all, okay? So they're calling a lot of the collective to, it's the conspiracy theories, it's over with. Hang them up. They said, do not engage anymore. They don't care what it is. Do not engage. Do not engage, okay? A lot of energy is being leaked over into these different realms and avenues, into certain beings and deities and entities. And you have to understand that when you do that, you're forming a contract, whether you realize it or not. You don't have to actually know what you're doing to form a contract, but you are forming a contract, okay? So they're saying if you're going to be woke and you're going to be spiritual, then it's time for you to actually be able to see what's really actually going on and take things back to your own self and focus on you, okay? I'm hoping I'm making sense right now, all right? I don't know how much more they want me to channel. I'm going to sit here and see. But I know that was the gist of it, because the biggest thing is there's so much energy being leaked out. There's so much energy being leaked out, and people are getting crossed up and caught in the crosshairs of this spiritual warfare because they think unlocking these conspiracies and stuff like that is like the key to the salvation of the earth. It's just not going to happen like that. It's okay to be aware and to allow things to awaken you and spark certain things within you, but you have to be very careful. Oh, thank you, Spirit. That's also too what they wanted me to say, that you going down these rabbit holes and you doing the research behind the dark things that are happening and human trafficking and the files and all this stuff that's going on these islands and these celebrities and the so-called quote unquote elite. They also want to remind you that you are subjecting your spirit to something that is very, very dark. You are subjecting yourself to something that is very, very dark. And cue the story time of when I first started my spiritual awakening, like years and years and years ago. And I was doing the same thing, getting caught up in the conspiracies and going down the rabbit holes. And there was one time where I was really deep down into this rabbit hole of like the Vanderbilt family and whatever. I won't get, because I want YouTube to be able to allow me to upload this video. But again, looking into the background of these quote unquote elite circles and looking into who their families were and the atrocious things that they do and all these things. And I was late at night researching things on my phone. And this is the first time, actually, so I'm going to say this is the story time of the very first time that I ever had sleep paralysis. And that was my cue for my spiritual team as to why do not subject your spirit to this, because there's something very, very dark underneath it and you do not want to give it access to you. And that's another trick that they play too, is that they make you think that researching these conspiracies and doing this, finding out, and you think you're uncovering this information, you're going down these rabbit holes, but you're actually giving your energy and consent to things that are very, very dark. You're allowing spiritual doors to be opened, and very dark things can come through and attach themselves to you, and you are giving it access to you, and you're giving it permission to do so, okay? So they very much want to caution us against that, because that is also the deception that is at play behind these conspiracies, okay? These people who created this stuff, they knew that the collective was going to be awakening. They knew that people were going to be waking up, and that the age of Aquarius and all that stuff was coming, and that illusions would be dissipating, and the truth, the veil would be thinning, and the truth would begin to become revealed, right? What's been done in the dark they knew that it was a point that it was going to come to the light. So they already put these things in place to keep that energy alive. They set things and built things into place ahead of time to get people to unknowingly consent to giving their energy away. These people are energy vampires. It's all about energy. They don't care that you know that they're doing wicked things to children, and they don't care that you know. They don't care. That's not some conspiracy and some gotcha, call the police 911, let's get these people. Like, they don't care. They don't care that you know, okay? So let's just put that out there. They don't care that you know this. They don't give a fuck, okay? They know most of society is dumb, and that's about as far as it's gonna get. They think they're uncovering something, and they get distracted, and they go back to living their bland, mundane 3D lives, and they don't tap into anything deeper the way that they're supposed to. That's what they want. So if you find out about some random pedophile ring over in Utah, and you sit in your room for 5 hours in the middle of the night and you connected to all of this other stuff, good. That's what they want you to do. They don't care. Okay? And they want me to make that very abundantly clear. They don't care that we know. So, like I was saying, you're signing a contract and you're opening spiritual doors to let things that are much darker come in and attach themselves to you. And I found this out when I had sleep paralysis for the very first time. So like I said, laying in my room, going down the rabbit hole, whoopty-whoopty-woo. And I'm like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy. Oh, I'm tapping in. Oh, whoopty-woo. I go to sleep that night. I end up falling asleep on my back or whatever. And this entity, it was like so tall, and I didn't see it, but I felt it. It was sitting on my chest. It was very dark, and it was speaking in this really weird language. It had like pointy hands, and it had like sharp teeth, and it just sat on top of me, and it was just like it was growling in my ear, and it scared the fuck out of me. Like, it really scared the absolute shit out of me. Sleep paralysis is no fucking joke. It is real. And that thing that you experience, and that noises and the growling and the heaviness of like feeling like something is sitting on your chest, that is a dark entity. That is a real experience that you are having. That's not some psychological phenomenon that you're having. That is a real spiritual experience. Okay? And there are dark ass, crazy ass entities out here that will pull the fuck up on you if you give consent, okay? So do not take this stuff lightly, all right? And that's why they just wanted to caution. Do not subject your spirit to that, okay? Do not subject your spirit to that, because it's not worth it. And in the grand scheme of things, you're not actually helping anyone, especially not yourself, okay? But yeah, so from that day on, very quickly, and once I recovered from that experience, I prayed, and I was able to get the entity to leave me alone and move out of the way. I didn't have sleep paralysis for years and years and years. Again, after that, I've only had sleep paralysis maybe 3 times in my life. 2 of them were due to spiritual warfare, but 1 of them was due to me subjecting my spirit to something that I had no idea about. And my spirit team had to let me experience that so that I could find out how serious this shit really is, okay? And some things are just better off you don't need to know. And that's the other thing they want to reiterate. You don't need to know every little nitty-gritty detail about every little thing. It's okay to leave things unknown to your mind. It's okay to not want to have to seek every little answer and go down every little rabbit hole and find out every little thing about everything. You're leaking out energy and you're wasting your time. All right? So that's what I got right now. Let me see, Spirit, is there anything else you want me to channel? That's it as far as that message. That was something very important that they wanted me to channel. I've been kind of sitting on that for the past few days to, get a good time for me to really get grounded and make that message so that people can receive it in the way that they need to receive it. And also, if you're seeing this is your sign that you need to go ahead and get in touch with your spirit guides, okay? Do not neglect your spirit guides. It's very important that you try to have a balanced relationship with your spiritual team outside of just your ancestors and things like that. You have your higher self, and you also have your spirit guides. Your spirit guides can also do a lot for you on your spiritual journey, okay? Because they are highly evolved and elevated and enlightened beings, and they can really help move things along for you and get you the clarity that you need on your spiritual journey, so that you can not only help yourself, but you can help other people. That's what you're here for, okay? Light worker, earth angel. All right, I'm talking to you. We need you out here, okay? So, what do we got? Anything else we're channeling? That's it. That's all. All right. If you want a spirit guide reading, if you want an ancestor reading, I'm going to leave all the information for you to book a one-on-one with me. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.